Knights of Frontier Valley is based on a custom engine that I built from scratch. In the old school games, my role models were developers like Richard Garriott, Peter Molyneux, Sid Meier. They didn't use third-party engines. They wrote their game from scratch, and that's what I wanted to do. For me, the engine is an integral part of the game. It's not so easily to separate. The engine needs to be customized to serve that particular game. It looks like sprites because it is sprites. It's sprite sheets. It's the same technology used in the 90s, and it is much, much harder to work like this. I literally have about 650,000 frames I'm dealing with, and I'm far from being finished. There are new ones being added all the time, and I look at each and every single one of them to verify it works right. And then you have to get the rendering order of these frames right. So the character is built in layers. You have the body, you have the armor, the clothing, the weapons and other equipment. And let's say you have a shield and a sword in your hand, and when you're facing like this, the shield is rendered last because it's on top. Now, if during an animation he turns around like this, he's doing a strike, you have to change the rendering order. Starting at frame 5, you have to change the rendering order. It's a very complex thing. And I can totally understand why people moved away from this and now using modern 3D engines.
Try to split the gem.
You start with making decisions about your character. You choose your role, you customize your character, their appearance, their attributes, the skill points. Later you choose the equipment and the quests you take and so on. But it's also important that you have the freedom to go wherever you want. Making decisions is really all about how many options does the game offer you.
Tell me about one of the heroes of old.
Another story? Very well.
So Knights doesn't have a deep story-driven plot. If you want to make the game replayable, the story has to be a little bit in the background. Once you played it through one time for the first time and you know all the plot twists and you know all the characters and how they're going to act, doing the same thing again is simply not all that interesting. There are certain key elements that appear around certain chapters, but it's not 100% predictable and it's not the same in every game. Sometime towards the middle of the game, there will be something like the undead challenge, and then towards the end of the game, there will be the nemesis that you're gonna big boss fight. Basically, you have to defeat.
Or maybe reducing experience. I think some other games have done that, not to copy it, but it's a good way of saying if you lower the game standards of the challenge, you're going to get less experience. It's going to take you longer to complete.
Rob's going to come in as a creative consultant, so he's going to advise me on gameplay features, and he's also contribute content to the game. He has an extensive library of IP modules and other content that we can plug into the game.
My material that I'm bringing into it concentrates more on the fantasy aspect and the unpredictable pieces that you're going to relatively run, compared to the rest of the game, you're going to run into not as often. But when you're there, you're going to be there. Yeah, this is it. You step out of one climate into another. And this is the point about fantasy games. It's about exploring the unknown, not staying in your village and saying, I know every little aspect of it, and then not moving beyond it.
An important design decision if you want to have permadeath in your game. If you take a game like Skyrim or other epic monolithic RPGs that you play for weeks, months, or even years, you cannot have permadeath in that game. Like after half a year, your character dies and you have to start over. That would be horrible. It's okay in a shorter game though. And permadeath is a design decision that is, again, going back to making the game more replayable. It needs to be a real challenge to give some incentive to play again. If you are able to play the game through on the first attempt, you have no reason to try again. Yeah, it's kind of the feeling of this time I'm gonna beat it, this time I'm gonna make it, that I want to instill with this hard difficulty in permadeath. It's important that it's procedural content, so every time you start over, it's not the same. It's going to get old very quickly. But by being a procedural game where the map looks different every time, it's okay to start over. Yeah.